Ladies and gentlemen, it is OH WE WRASSLIN Podcast, episode 36. It's time we have a wrestling convo, and you know we got to start it off right. The Reaper shit, Boulevard Blues, Little Vic featuring Man 9-5.
Yes, I'm walking down on this misery.
What a show we got for you. Sit back and relax.
At the crossroads, I'm wondering how I'm gonna fight to survive. Looking uphill like fuck bills, I gotta hike it alive. Rather than dead, a Latter-day Saint. Friday is promised us a good time, but Saturday ain't. Without a canvas, how do they paint? Concerned with the city's asphalt that hold the history of earnest. I'll be soaking in the J-Mo, do nothing but the same old. Reading the calligraphy of murderers, instantly learn of us. And no friend
OH WE WRASSLIN Podcast, episode 36. We turning up today. You hear me? We turning up. Everybody roll up. Everybody roll up.
I look around and all I see is all the shit I wanna leave. Keep looking around and realize none of it is what I believe.
OH WE WRASSLIN,
Affiliate my name in
36,
fame,
Little Vic,
and no
Man
struck.
9-5, Boulevard Blues. Turn this my shit. Turn it up.
At the crossroads, I'm wondering how I'm gonna fight to survive. Looking uphill like fuck bills, I gotta hike it alive. Rather than dead, a Latter-day Saint. Friday is promised us a good time, but Saturday ain't. Without a canvas, how do they paint? Concerned with the city's asphalt that hold the history of earnest. I'll be soaking in the J-Mo, do nothing but the same old. Reading the calligraphy of murderers, instantly learn of us. And no friend put his hand on the Bible. He smiled, just knowing that the man's homicidal. It's wild, like the government breeding all the tattletales. What if John Adams failed, didn't have an Abigail? I look around and all I see is all the shit I wanna leave. Keep looking around and realize none of it is what I believe. Affiliate my name in vain with Cosa Nostra. Thinking your mob nowadays like playing a Roman soldier. But in the suite, I'm sitting here with a necktie on, made of the best nylon. And for the green, my neck stretched like a Vex python. So get set, go. If you ain't ready already, you best let go. Since tomorrow ain't promised, I'd rather lie and love you than have you hate me for being honest. Since they all say the sky gonna fall, then nobody got the sky but the balls. It was a hobby, now it's real. It's so real, the shit is so real. You just a clip with no scale. It's real, shit is so real, no deal. If you bogus, clap, look down through
I'm
your
sitting
noses.
in a room full of non-believers, underachievers, ratchet weeds on little bodies with big cleavage. Thinking I could never be what I'm surrounded by. My failed plan never sounded fly. On the road to the riches, I picked up a couple dirty dishes. For food I ain't eat, I asked forgiveness. I learned to never turn down a Jew and never match wits with a fool. Them shoulders got cold on me. The local pushing me and told on me. That fine print turned bold on me. Grandma scolded me. I was wild amongst the Commonwealth. Told me I was a genius, just ain't apply myself. It took a while, eventually I saw it. They pissed at me for pissing on them and not the toilet. I used to want to see they decline for my enjoyment, but now I just ignore it. Cause they gon' cut their own throat. Wanting the castle, but can't get across the old moat. With life jackets or a gold boat. Fuck the opposition, without a pot to piss in. Only thing I ever wanted was a listen. Now I just maneuver my position. I in that chair the ruler sits in. Looking for squares a circle fits in. Then I dig my mitts in, applying the wisdom.
Since tomorrow ain't promised, I'd rather lie and love you than have you hate me for being honest. Since they all say the sky gonna fall, then nobody got the sky but the balls. It was a hobby, now it's real. It's so real, the shit is so real. You just a clip with no scale. It's real, shit is so real, no deal. If you bogus, clap, clap, look down through your nose. And I bring something to the table if I'm seeing a feast. Being a beast, he bite the hand and feed him at least. He wasn't born with a silver spoon, but he gets the bread and butter. He baked the cake and eat it right after he fed a brother. And yeah, we all gotta eat our fucking words like this verse might stick to his ribs. I'm on my third slice. You can't make an omelet without breaking eggs as long as you bring home the bacon. And baby, what's shaking it? Too many cooks is gonna curse the Campbells. First, make sure the cake is worth the candles. Too many cooks is gonna curse the Campbells. And first make sure the cake is worth the candles. Since tomorrow ain't promised, I'd rather lie and love you than have you hate me for being honest. Since they all say the sky gonna fall, then nobody got the sky but the balls. It was a hobby, now it's real. It's so real, the shit is so real. You just a clip with no steel. It's real, shit is so real, no deal. If you bogus, clap, clap, look down through your noses.
Oh We Wrestling Podcast, episode 50. We're having a wrestling combo today. Sir Frost, tag team partner Dre.
Yo, is my mute actually live this time? Am I mute?
No, you're actually, you're good.
Thank
Believe it
God.
or not.
Wow.
I told y'all it wasn't scripted, y'all. Oh We Wrestling.
Oh my
What's going
God,
on, Dre?
that's like the first time. Yo, history's been made. I actually didn't have the mute on this time. I swear to God, I don't be doing that shit on purpose. Yo, I'm probably thinking it's on purpose, but I swear it's not. Yo, before we get started, man, I just want to say, man, I know we about to get ignorant today. So before we get ignorant, let's start off with, let's be serious for a moment. Our condolences to the family of former Tough Enough winner Sarah Lee. Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that is just a sad story, man. Only 30 years young, man. I can't even say old. Like, she's younger than my baby sister, bro. Like, that's nuts to me, man. 3 children she leaves behind.
Oh my
and
God.
A husband, Wesley Blake, man, formerly of the Forgotten Sons, man.
I didn't even know that was West Dean, man.
Yeah, that really sucks, man. So yeah, the wrestling community, the wrestling fans, we all send our condolences. Our hearts and prayers go out to Sarah Lee and her family. Rest in peace in paradise, Sarah.
Oh, absolutely, man. Condolence to you, condolence to your family. Man, we had to get that out of the way, definitely, because I know it's going to get a little ignorant here. Thanks for that, Dre. Really appreciate that. Again, condolences. Not even 30.
Trying to get ignorant.
It's time to turn up. Oh We Wrestling, episode 56. Roll it.
Swirling mass.
Yeah.
Black and white.
Mic's up. Turn our mother loving mic up.
Slim, what's up, Dre? How you doing?
Up in my head. Gotta get the dough, babies need nourishment.
Yeah, I'll mute your mic.
Hunger games up in my head. Gotta get the dough, babies need
You gotta go and sit.
the facts.
Virgil. All right.
Nah, you ain't doing me like that. You ain't doing me.
Come on, Black Queen, Sasha.
And Goldust. All right.
Yo, you are foul, bro. You were
Jeff Hardy at number 5.
Number 5.
Goldust. All right, Goldust. All right, time. All right. Eddie Guerrero's going in Wrestling God. You're just gonna have to be mad. You're just gonna have to be mad. That's just how it works. No, you whoa.
I can keep the job. I ain't giving donkeys today. That's the seed of God plotting on my
Whatever. I'm giving it a horn swallow.
That's real. We just favorite.
You get a goddamn spirit squad. You're nasty, filthy top 5.
Peers who, as it appears, ain't on my tier. Being hated by cats who ain't make it, that ain't my fault.
My favorite what? What is your favorite finish move? Favorite? It doesn't matter what your favorite finish move. Oh no. Oh, this
God damn it. It's your photo 40%. Yo, Montez, I'm taking
yeah, I was about to say, nigga, hold on, yo. You lucky WWE got copyright, love. Boy, I would play the street part.
I'm excited. It should be fun. I'm gonna beat her ass, but
all right, talk your talk.
I'm more interested in it now than I was before. To be honest with you, I mean, I was interested in it because it's, it's money in the bank.
it's like you gotta have some good and bad energy. And even when it don't make sense, so that's why I'm like.
I mean, because really that was their, other than like the AJs and stuff like that, that was really his
You know what I'm saying? That was like the most credible.
Hey, it goes right over my face too perfectly. That is funny.
I tried. I swear. Yo, listen. I tried. Stop. Let it happen. I'm gonna need you to relax.
Wow. Dog. It's like you knew where I was gonna be on the screen.
Relax.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
We Wrestling Podcast, episode 56. We having a wrestling convo today. It was so much wrestling. AEW, I was about to say ECW. AEW, New Japan, even a Bound for Glory from Impact Wrestling. Dre, how are you doing today?
Yo, I am doing. Oh man, that little music threw me off. Man, you know, doing good, man. Hope everybody tuned in is doing good, man. And I hope y'all ready, man. Disclaimer ahead of time, man. I can smoke in the house today, so it's about to be real ignorant, y'all. It's about to be real ignorant. Just a disclaimer, man. The views expressed on OE Wrestling are the views of that individual person. I don't want to bring down OE Wrestling if I say something offensive. Just cancel me, but don't cancel OE Wrestling. I'm just letting y'all know, disclaimer.
Oh boy, here we go. OE Wrestling. Well, since you want to mention ignorance, let's start off the ignorance before we get into the show. Matter of fact, before we even talk about the ignorance, I want to say this. The fact that we're about to start off with this instead of the program, that shows you how nasty things are operated over there in AEW. The Sammy, he really is the god in AEW versus Andrade's. I am the son of Ric Flair. Are you kidding me? Well, I don't. You got Tony, yes. I'm still gonna slap you. Do you know who my wife is?
Yo, let's not even play Andrade. Let's not play Andrade.
Take away Ric Flair. Take away my wife being more over than you ever will be. Take that away. Let's just push that to the side. I will knock you out, little boy.
Hold up. Let's not even get there yet. Hold up. First of all, Sammy, like, you're still a rookie. All right? You've been on TV 3 years. Fucking Andrade was doing his shit in Mexico long before you ever got on the scene. And while I didn't really watch him in AAA, I knew of him because I knew of Naito, and I knew Naito's story. He got his rub from Andrade. Mm-hmm. His big gimmick, the whole Destino and all that stuff, that's from Andrade. He's a sub-faction of Andrade, my nigga.
Just like you did to me. I'm sorry, I got to do it to you. Before that, let's go before that. I want to just start with Sammy, period. Sammy the God. Before you even get to Andrade, we got to talk about Sammy before we even get to what they're doing. We got to talk about how Sammy really is the Spanish god in AEW. Let's talk about it. So first of all, I'm hearing the rumors, whatever.
Gods don't lose, man.
I'm hearing rumors that, maybe it's part of the story. It's a storyline. So first of all, if it's a storyline, easy rebuttal. First of all, your locker room is too nasty for you to do a storyline like that. So y'all think
that
that's a storyline? That ain't a storyline. Even if it's a storyline, it's not a storyline. It's not.
Sammy got beat up twice in a 3-month time period, bro.
And he worked. What?
He got beat up, and they both still work there.
But listen, Dre. No, not that they both still work there, Dre. No. Break down their stories. Sammy, right? Sammy is part of the problem. Well, no, I'm not saying he's the problem, but he's part of the situation with other wrestlers, right? Hold on, before we get there, with other wrestlers, right? And then he even put it out on Twitter, him saying some wild stuff against both of his situations, right? It was hands put on him by both superstars, right? And he was not suspended or anything.
He lost both times.
Situations.
Both times?
He lost. No, Dre. He lost, but he won. he lost, but he won because he still worked. Anybody else? Suspended.
If they got fired, then he won. But the fact that they put hands on you in front of the boss, in front of coworkers at that, and all they got was
they either got fined or suspended. Fined or sent home. Sammy worked that night, Dre.
Sammy,
no, Dre. Hold on. I don't even mean to spoil the anniversary, but this is the little cherry on top. He won the match that night. He got the pin.
Tony Khan, like, I don't want a lawsuit. He's in a what was it that they say in court? Unsafe work environment. You've had 2 employees at this job put hands on you now.
I'm rebuttaling you all night, Dre. You want to know why? You want to know why Sammy hasn't been suspended? No. We don't be real. No. We both got the blunt. It's lit. We talking real. It's raw and blunt talk right now. No, hold on, Dre. Nah. The real reason why Sammy hasn't got suspended in either or situation, the real reason why Sammy didn't go home for either or situation, the real reason why Sammy even got the pin that night of the situation, you want to know why, Dre? We found the connect.
Halcyons, GHB, Placidil. No, the Placidils I think were in the early 90s. But I know there was some GHB and Halcyons on.
Tony Khan was at his wedding, my dude, doing teenage photo shoots and TikTok videos with them. So like, you got
Halcyons, GHB, Placidil. No, the Placidils I think were.
Aside from the Tony Khan being friends with him, Chris Jericho's like your mentor, so he stuck up for him clearly. Like, Tony, don't send him home. He got his ass beat. Tony, let's reward him and let him win the main event. Maybe he won't. Maybe he's so young. CM Punk whooped ass and threatened with legal suit. Sammy got beat up twice and ain't sued Tony Khan. And yet you have 2 lawsuits against Tony Khan right now, bruh. I got beat up at your company event. When you get beat up on the job like that, you could sue the company and the person. He has 2 lawsuits if he wants to go that route. But Sammy, I don't know, maybe it's where he come from. He's from Texas. He is a minority. He might live by that same type of code that you or me live by. Like, we'll handle it ourselves in the street. We ain't about to, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to get labeled a sucker. But
Sammy is the Spanish god.
But he really got 2 lawsuits right now. So it's kind of like you got
He's the Spanish god, bro.
You know what's nasty though? I just found out like maybe 45 minutes before this live, I was on some website and it showed a picture of Sammy taking on Eric Rowan in a SmackDown dark match from like 5-6 years ago or something like that, right?
No, I never.
And they said apparently backstage Sammy tried to provoke Tyler Breeze into a fight. So it's like, yo, his behavior, this like he just has that behavior. Starting shit like writing checks with his mouth that is,
and he getting away with it. Yeah. It's cashing.
He didn't
I mean, not against the person with the hands. Their hands is cashing in on his face. But I'm talking about overall. He not going home. He working. He won the main event.
Sammy is the Shawn Michaels.
He got the pin, Dre.
He's the Shawn Michaels of AEW, bruh.
Facts.
Lose all real fights, but they will let him beat everybody on TV. Like, bro, you the toughest guy on TV.
I couldn't believe, like, that's why. Oh my God, Tony, like, for real, you gotta do something, bro. You gotta do something.
Let's go back though. It's the funniest situation. Like the Eddie Kingston, like, he was like, gosh, this dude is just he's bad, man. I don't know who's worse, him or the Young Bucks with like exposing the business, even though it's kind of exposed already. Not even kind of, it's exposed, but like when he described, I hated how he described the Eddie Kingston situation, how he ran online. Like him and Tony, I see why they're good friends. They both need to just stay off social media, and if they do go on there, they need a PR trainer desperately, bro. Like they don't know what to speak on, what to say. When you can openly go,
none of that.
He literally broke down. Man, me and I talked to him before the matchup, and says, "Is there anything you know?" I'm like, bro, like TMI, too much information, you know.
Right.
And
because
now
it makes
this
the locker room look so much worse, because now it makes it seem like, yo, now I think I said this on a podcast a couple of days ago, not a couple of episodes ago, when we was the episode we was talking about behind the scenes of like the Mark Henrys and all of that. Like, bro, y'all understand a structure of that business behind the scenes. Y'all not like, is Tony, like, now going back to, and this is me being a fan, it's because of Sammy Big Mouth, and because of you too, Tony. Like, I can't even just blame Sammy. Like, y'all need media training.
Tony's at
this is why we talk about it. And Dre would tell you, Tony, I don't even like talking about the back. I want to talk about in ring. But your promotion is so nasty right now. Your behind the scenes is overpowering your whole anniversary show.
You literally took the words out of my mouth. You know what though? All the drama's been overtaking the wrestling, and that's a nasty thing, because that week of wrestling, you got
wrestlers like Bryan Danielson, John Moxley on his best run, MJF showing out, Warlow. I understand why Warlow feel like that. Like if people talk about, Warlow says he's losing the passion and stuff, people say you don't understand. Why you don't understand that lock? He's young to the game.
We gotta circle back to Warlow, because that
locker room is a motivation. Like some wrestlers, like we talked to some wrestlers. Yo, your surrounding hypes you. Your surrounding motivates you. When you're around great people, you become great. So when Warlow's backstage and some of his friends is bared off, the dude he was working with, he's so upset. Warlow did low key. If you look at it, MJF, how he was upset, and Warlow just not as powerful as MJF, but that energy trickled down on Warlow.
Yo, but real quick, because I do want to talk about the other stuff, but we really gotta talk on the Andrade, Sammy. Like, let's just, like, this is a life lesson outside of pro wrestling that everyone in this day and age could learn from. You know what I'm saying? Which is like something I've always, like, even growing up in martial arts and everything, you know what I'm saying? I never, even the people I could beat up, I would never talk wow to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was more of a just do it person. Like, that's why I don't even, like, got a loud voice, bro, because I never was an arguer. I was just like, all right, let's go talk. You know, like, but freaking, but to the people even that, like, especially, like, I show that courtesy to the people I know I got, you know what I'm saying? But to the people I know I can't, that's another thing that I see a lot of people do a lot. They get real comfortable behind their keyboard because they know they ain't gonna have to answer to these people in real life. And they talk to these people way they would never talk to that person in person. You know what I'm saying?
My thing is, all right, so the Eddie Kingston thing happened, right? And then there's so many questions, like, what's the back? That's why I go back to, like, Mark, not to blame Mark Henry, but he's just one of the big shows still there. Like, the WWE guys that y'all behind the scenes, y'all know how a wrestling promotion should be structured. Like, y'all get it. Especially if, like, yo, Andrade basically said, yo, I'm about to pull up on you. Like, Andrade said it. Like, he tweeted it. He didn't like hit it like, yo, Sammy, yo, I'm gonna put. No, I'm letting AEW know, when I see this man, he's getting these hands.
Nah, but yo, we're going out of order with it. We're going out of order. Sammy, it all started with a subliminal from Sammy, bro. He subbed him.
But I'm just talking about the slap, like, or the hint, like Andrade said that was going to happen. My thing is, I'm gonna let you go back to that, but my thing is, if this man is telling the world,
unsafe work environment,
why? That's what I'm saying, Dre. Is so yeah, like Tony, somebody got to be watching.
He had to win that main event.
Like, that's a company. Somebody's watching their social media. yo, y'all know something's gonna happen. So at no point it didn't cross y'all mind, let's keep these two men away from each other. Like, how did they get next to each other? How?
No, I got something. I got something that's gonna be so sickening for that, but I want to keep it for the order because we're gonna circle back to it. Just going in the timeline. He subliminally dissed him on Twitter, and then Andrade had an interview with someone where they basically threw it out there, and that's how he was like, you know what, man, this dude just subbed me. So let me just go ahead and throw it out there. This is what the problem is. This is why he subbed me, really. Because he complained I hit him too hard. And the funny thing about it, at this point, like, I mean, he insults him a little bit, but it wasn't like, I'm going to beat you up. You know what I'm saying? He just basically told what happened. Like,
well, pretty much
I told him,
why we don't
hit me back. You know what I'm saying? If I hit you hard, hit me back hard. And then the funny thing about it, he started naming people who you just knew, like, oh, like, he like the Miz don't even complain. Like, bro, like, he basically said you a weenie by naming weenies that, you know, can handle it. You know, it's just like, man, my little sister did that. Like, you could play, my little sister could do it. You know, like, I'm like, bro, that was a sly way of doing it. You know what I'm saying? Without being just, you know,
like Sammy, straightforward.
Over the
yeah.
And Sammy just goes on a tirade talking how you would not talk to this person if they was standing in front of you, bro. You know what I'm saying? He went on there, called him a jobber and a favor hire and all this shit. And it just was just like, bruh, like, before AEW existed, he was the freaking NXT world champion. The first NXT matchup to get a 5-star from Dave Meltzer, and that we already know how hard it is for
you already
any
know
WWE or NXT to get a 5-star from Dave Meltzer, bro.
And you know what hurts for me? Because I'm gonna be real, I'm gonna be honest, and Dre know this, because I'm an Eddie guy, so I don't want a nut like a Eddie. I don't want a Eddie, but I want that, you know, next up to represent what Eddie did. Kind of how we see Kurt Angle, low key. I always say Bryan Danielson. He's not Kurt Angle, but you see that technician, that ruthlessness, all of that. So Andrade was the first one. I remember y'all, you was there. I used to always say Andrade. Then Sammy was the second person I used to give love to. Remember, it was Sammy, then it's Esco. Esco, you about to be number one. I ain't gonna hold you.
I'll rock that.
We're gonna talk about.
Here's the thing. I never got big on Sammy. Like, and the reason why, like, I'll give him all the credit in the world. He's an amazing athlete.
No,
but
it
he has the
Sammy.
Worst psychology, bro.
It wasn't Sammy.
Back
I
to
take that back. I'm gonna let you finish, but take the back now because I'm talking about Eddie, so I gotta correct that. It wasn't even Sammy. Sammy was the person I wanted to shine on AEW for the Latino. He wasn't the Eddie. No, it was, because I remember my order. It was Andrade, it was Esco, and it was Angel Garza. It was Angel Garza, not Sammy. Because I still believe in Angel Garza hype. If he gained more muscle, I think Garza could be that guy. But we talking about AEW, Sammy Guevara. You see, you even know, that's what I'm trying to transfer back into the wrestling.
But the thing with Andrade, besides his NXT run, besides making it to WWE, man, he had a crazy run in New Japan Pro Wrestling. This dude beat Shinsuke Nakamura for the Intercontinental title at a Wrestle Kingdom. Like, bro, this dude was, and Nakamura at this time was like wrestling
the god over
Japan,
there,
bro.
He was
and
Okada.
New Japan Pro Wrestling.
He was Okada
before Okada.
He was Okada.
Really before Tanahashi transitioned. Tanahashi kind of cemented his spot by taking Nakamura. You know what I'm saying? And being the one
Shinsuke was going to American promotions, all like.
So he basically set them both up to be like his successors. Really, you know.
Look at what we saying, Shinsuke and Naito.
So I'm like, so I'm like, your faction brought up Naito. You had the classics with Nakamura. He was ranked high as fuck in the PWI long before there was, maybe even like around the time NXT was starting up. Like, he was always cooking. He was always a big deal everywhere he went. He's been successful. Except for once he got to WWE, the main roster.
I ain't gonna hold you. I'm saying this now, and I hope I'm right. Because usually when I say stuff on this pod, it normally happens. Even when it's fantasy, like, oh, you said that. Yup. Just like the Christian one. that story. Anyway, Andrade, if you're going to WWE, pull the trigger. Matter of fact, don't even do the LWO. I like the Phantasma LWO version of their shirt. Keep it. Andrade and Escobar. I don't care. Andrade, Escobar, and Zelina running. Oh my God, take my money.
Hey,
Bruce,
now that she's in the
leave, Bruce, leave.
It's too late for
leave,
Bruce.
Bruce.
He just
Bruce,
that ink is wet.
Your
That
midlife,
ink is
tear it
wet.
up. Tear it up.
Get into a fight, Roosh. Beat up Sammy.
Yo,
Beat up
that would
Sammy
be
next.
if WWE go in that faction mode, bro, I'm telling you, please pull the trigger. Pull Esco, Andrade, Rouge, and I'll even keep the other two. I'm not huge on their name, but I think they're good. So I'm not trying to. But I'm not. But still, even though I'm gonna learn their names, no disrespect to them, but I'm still giving y'all credit. I'm not erasing y'all. I want y'all to be part of that faction.
I'm mad they got rid of Elektra Lopez though, because man, she looked bomb, bro. But that's the only reason why though. Like I feel like Zelina's. I heard somebody else say that, but did y'all remember that's why Almas was out? Sorry, lady, Almas, your in ring was fire. You just exposed me right there.
Almas and Zelina. That's. I'm sorry, personally. I like the Lopez type. Personally, that's my type of women. But Zelina,
I ain't gonna lie.
Shout out to Malachi Black. Too sweet me, Malachi.
If I gotta give props to that. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. If Andrade come back, I would like her to turn on Legado del Fantasma and then her feud with Elektra Lopez, making her return to the group. Okay. Only because I want Santos to be number one in his group. I don't want to play second fiddle to
I like your booking.
And he speaks perfect English as to where Andrade, that's always been his
But he don't need Lopez. That was my thing. That's why I like your booking. I still like your booking and shout out to Lopez. But if he do that, no Lopez. Esco don't. That's why I say Esco, it went even higher over everybody to be that next Eddie.
You need that little sexy female up in there, man.
Oh my, I feel you. It is wrestling.
It's a nice little look, you know.
It looks good. Yeah, the visual is nice. All right, you right. And that would be
you know
dope
what? He could talk for her.
Because Zelina could be Andrade could come back. Zelina could be leaning more towards Andrade, and then that's when they do the turn, and then that's when Lopez come back and attack Zelina.
She has to, and that's the only way she can, because I'm like, yo, I don't see her doing it. I don't see her doing it on her own.
Because Andrade needs a manager.
Like how you said, no. Like how you said, like what? Because the looks, I'm just like, she got the look. Like I've seen her wrestle, you know, but I don't think her wrestling could carry her alone. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if her promo skills strong enough.
That's what I'm saying.
But
that's why. But
for
now, though, how wrestling is, Dre, I still like your idea because working with Esco, because Esco is good on the mic. Pause. But like his promo game is good. So with that visual being there, she can kind of work with Esco, know what I mean? And then she can step forwards. That's like learning on the job in a way. But back to AEW. Let's get back to it. Let's get into the anniversary. No, leave Sammy.
Main's gonna be in
Sammy is Spirit Squad. Matter of fact, Sammy, you get the mid of
Mid! Every single thing in it is mid!
Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up with this, man. After Andrade sent the text message, like, I'll see you on Wednesday, letting you know it's on site, right? The funniest thing, this is why Tony Khan, dog, no one has respect for you, Tony. Tony need to get on steroids, get off the coke and get on steroids, Tony.
Yo!
You need to hit up Dan Lambert and be at his motherfucking MMA
Yo, we
gym.
are not getting a Tony Khan interview.
I'm talking to you, Tony. I'm trying to give you guidance right now, Tony.
Spoiler alert, we are not getting a Tony Khan interview. You did not say that.
Yo, I'm giving him the realest advice. Take this to heart, Tony. Get off the coke.
Halcyons, GHB, Placidil. No, the Placidils I think were in the early 90s. But I know there was some GHB and
Tony, you gotta fight for your respect, Tony. You really do, Tony. You gotta lay hands on somebody at some time. It might be Sammy. That might be like the nigga everybody make an example of when they frustrated backstage. Like, let people know I ain't to be fucked with.
Bret Hart him.
Here's the coldest thing. They said that Tony had a meeting with them on Tuesday after he caught wind of the back and forth. Told them no fighting. Then he tells Andrade specifically, yo, if you fight, you're not getting fired. I'm not gonna fire you. Even if you fight him, I'm not gonna fire you. Imagine you're at work and you got beef with a coworker. What other job but this? Pro wrestling. That's why I love pro wrestling. What other job in the world? Maybe the NBA now.
Hey, yo. Hey,
guys, relax. RELAX, relax. We don't want to put too much on wax before they go up against the line.
I don't want to compare them because that was spontaneous. That happened on the fly at the gym. This was 3 days in the making. It was 1 day was the setup. It was the build-up. Like,
no, I'm trying to move on, y'all. I'm trying to talk about the
day 2 was the mediation.
Hold on. Before I move on, I'm not gonna lie. He did tweet, "I'm about to pull up, yo."
And the next day, there was a day in between. He kept that energy for 3 days, bro. He kept that same energy for 3 days. Son thought it was gonna die down. Then he went to Tony the day before, like, Tony, gosh. Andrade said he gonna beat me up. Talk to him, Tony. Tony had a Tony had to sit down with both of them, like, yo, no fighting, Andrade. I know you went out, but nah, if you beat him up, you staying. I'm just gonna send you home. Just gonna send you home for the day. Andrade said, "Bet I'm beating this nigga up."
Listen to Sammy. Sammy say, "Yo, Tony, why he get to beat me up like that?"
He hurt my feelings.
Damn right I did.
Oh man, this is the last thing. Yo, if 2 people could beat up Sammy with no repercussions before and after the media scrum incident, you better not fire Ace Steel or CM Punk.
You don't get to go home happy.
These people are not bigger stars than CM Punk that got to put hands on Sammy, and they okay, so I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, CM Punk hurt. CM Punk coming back. He ain't firing Punk.
Oh, God, man.
Tony like, Kenny, hug me, Kenny. God, we need him. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into some AEW in-ring action, the real show, all right? The real show. The anniversary for Dynamite AEW. It was an alright show. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It was pretty decent, man. Yeah. MJF versus Wheeler Yuta was to start the show off.
I just want to say this, bro. Yo, God damn. I mean, I always gave him his praise, but this man is good. MJF is just good, yo. Like, Jesus, like, jeez, bro. Like, his in-ring is getting, like, y'all put, if this, but I'm glad we starting off with this. I'm gonna let you talk about your, that's all I gotta say. MJF is just good.
His style, man, is like a throwback to like that.
But
right before the Attitude Era, he reminded me of the New Generation era.
Bro,
not the golden era, but the new generation, like the Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart era.
Yeah, Bret Hart era. Like, he studied their Hill era. Oh, like, low key, if Bobby Heenan did wrestle, but if like Bobby Heenan was like an updated wrestler, like the psychology. Like, I don't have to do super too much.
That's a great one. That's a great comparison.
And you know that's my guy. You know that's my number one. I don't just say that to anybody. Like, if you knew the OE Wrestling, Bobby Heenan is number one to me. I don't put him in my top 5. Man. He's just my number one favorite thing in wrestling. But MJF's style is just so, like you said, he just studied. Like, when I watched him wrestle that match, I'm like, bro, this man studied, bro. Like, like, as much trash talking he do, all of that, it makes me appreciate it even more. because it's like, yo, this man, he's not just trash talking to trash talk. His psychology in professional wrestling is really that good. Like, it really is.
As much as I hate Wheeler Yuta's promos from the previous 2 weeks.
Oh my God, can we not talk about it?
He could go in the ring. I'll give him that. He could go. His matchups, he can go in the ring. He just got to work on his charisma. Maybe more of those interviews. As much as I didn't like him, he need a few more of them just so that he could be comfortable upon there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that was a good matchup. I like how MJF locked on the armbar.
And now,
then
oh
he
my
had to do
God,
the variation.
that made me a fan of that finisher. Yes, it did. And I want to say this: I'm glad we ended the match. The match ended. Wheeler Yuta was trying to shake the hand of MJF. MJF fighting himself. Oh, shall I shake his hand? And then Lee Moriarty jumps Wheeler Yuta, and they trying to put the ring on him.
AKA
Wheeler
Evil
Yuta.
Frank Ocean.
But I will say this:
Evil Frank Ocean.
I will say.
Evil not Joker.
Frank Ocean.
Evil
dark.
Joker.
Frank Ocean.
Oh,
dark.
man.
But anyway, I want to say this. This adding on to MJF, knowing the psychology of professional wrestling, I was very intrigued with that ending.
I didn't like that part.
I did. I'm sorry.
Like, you just formed the faction. You just formed the faction, bro.
But my thing is, but it's MJF, bro.
And he always
the only reason why I have,
bro. So it's like,
but Dre, this is why I'm saying this, Dre. With MJF, this could be a smart ass story. Like, yo, I'm big. Like,
I feel like that's
like
what he's
him
doing.
showing
He's
respect. MJF showing respect.
No, I was
to
really
anybody.
evil the whole time, you know, like.
But still, that's what I'm saying. I think it's a bigger story to this. Like, and the fact that shows how good MJF is. I'm intrigued because MJF has never acted like that. And we know, just like Christian, they're one of the masters to be like, do you want to see the match tonight? No, it's not going to happen. So I have to give him the credit because he showed William Regal respect. I have never seen that. This is the same man that pushed
William
over
Regal
Tony
had the brass nuts on, bro. William Regal's about to dink him up.
No, you got to watch the demeanor again. I'm telling you, no. MJF literally showed him respect. That wasn't, no, I'm scared of you. We see how MJF act when it's a moment where it's like, oh, I'm gonna get you. No, I'm not. I'm gonna get you. No, I'm not. No, bro. Like, there wasn't no Lee Moriarty help. Come get my help. Like you just said, he got a whole gang. Like, I don't care about your brass.
He was acting weird when his gang was doing gang shit. I was
that's what I'm saying. I'm a fan.
But here's the thing, though. I didn't believe him. I felt like he's just doing it like a slow build to make people think, oh,
that's what I'm
he's
saying.
Gonna do a face turn. They like, nah, motherfucker. I better heal. Like, I was just fucking with y'all.
That.
I can appreciate it, but like, I feel like just as an experience.
And I felt like, and the reason why I'm saying that, he sold it right.
I see what's coming.
He sold it right. He made me intrigued. You showed William Regal respect.
Do something similar to this. I think maybe it was like with the Punk where he was acting like, you know what I'm saying? Because he cut that promo, we kind of made everybody like turn on him, and then he went Dre, back the next week. So I was just like, all right.
Dre, the whole bar went over my head. Yes, like you said, this could be a whole story, slow build up of I'm a babyface. Because look who he's being nice to. I don't know how this went over my head. William Regal, the leader of Blackpool Combat. Part of who's the current champion, Moxley. That's what I'm saying, Dre. Sometimes we just gotta.
You know what? I didn't catch that part.
Exactly.
I didn't catch that part. The William Regal turn would be crazy if that happened, but he already got the other dude, so you kind of don't need a.
I'm telling you, that's what I say. You gotta stick with the story, yo. It's good. I liked it.
It was two face turn teases back to back. Because the next matchup was Jay Lethal versus Darby Allin. And you know what? Tony, you should not... Tony, before we go on to this, man, you do not deserve Booker of the Year if there's not even another Booker for you to go against, my dude. Like, because the way you booked Andrade, I hate to bounce back to Andrade real quick, but it's the same thing with Jay Lethal. It's like these are two people who've done so much for so long, that their careers precede a Jungle Boy or a Sammy Guevara, and when you have them paying their dues, even though they come in a bigger name than a Jungle Boy, and I understand you got to build up your original talent and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? But that's why you got to be cautious with just signing every WWE person, you know what I'm saying? Because you have a situation where a Sammy talking down to Andrade like he's a bigger star, like maybe he's been booked better in AEW so far because he's been there from day one or whatever. But bro, this dude's a bigger star overall.
Yo, we're not talking about Sammy.
I'm just saying, because that could be the thing with Jay Lethal, where you might have people starting to have that same mentality with the Jay Lethal, who's done more than a lot of these AEW originals, even if they are being pushed heavily right now. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if we keep saying this, Dre, but Jay Lethal hasn't make a complaint.
Jay Lethal's starting to. He's not, but he's making. This is the turning point right now. This Darby Allin matchup, the end of it is the turning point for Jay Lethal. And I knew coming in, because I remember him saying coming in right before he lost to Ricky Starks, he was like, I don't want to be like another big name that comes in and then just like starts off ahead of all the people who've been here working the company. You know what I'm saying? Because then they might feel some type of way. But he went above and beyond more than anybody else, losing to everybody to, you know, uplift the people, really. You know what I'm saying? To where whoever he wins now, it's gonna feel like
he gotta go on a run.
You know what I'm saying?
He gotta go on a run. He gotta be like Brian. He gotta beat the whole Blackpool. He gotta beat Chris Jericho. Like, no, I'm being real. Nah, like Jay Lethal gotta go on a run.
Jay Lethal is that person I really wanted to be the first black AEW World Heavyweight Champion, but then Keith Lee came and I'm just like, damn, man, like, if not Jay Lethal, Keith Lee. And I was really a little bit more worried because Keith Lee having that WWE resume helps. I know that, especially with Tony Khan, you know? But man, it was a great matchup. That's the one thing I will say, even with all these losses on Jay Lethal, he has not had a matchup. He just always loses in these great matchups. He always has solid work, bro. He's one of the very best, bro, but he probably gets not looked at that way because he's always on the losing end. But there's a reason he's Ric Flair's last match. It's a reason he's Ricky the Dragon Steamboat's last match.
You spitting, you spitting bars.
Bro, like people know that's who you go to. That's who you go to when you want to, like, you know, you're gonna be protected in that ring. You know, you're gonna have a solid match.
The OGs know where he should be.
Like,
it's
bro,
his loyalty. That's why I ain't gonna lie. That's why I think a lot of OGs respect him, like Ric Flair. Because you know Ric Flair is kind of, well, the older Ric Flair is big on like loyalty to promotions. And Jay Lethal is a loyal guy, bro.
He was loyal to Impact for so long. The Ring of Honor, like, I don't know how he never got that look in WWE. But I'm so glad he got to AEW. I wish he would have gotten treated better. But again, this face turn at the very end kind of was like the starting point. You could see, like, all right, they're about to start. Maybe Tony Khan finally has heard it several times, but maybe he's like, all right, now it's time to start to like do right by this guy. You know what I'm saying? He ain't complain. He's been the most unselfish guy when it comes to the losses and wins. That's one thing that do piss me off with AEW. I almost forgot to mention this shit. But this win-loss record shit, just abolish it. I don't want to hear about win records, how many wins, or none of that shit. Because, bro, Jay Lethal won down. Jay Lethal has lost damn near every match I've seen him on TV, but like maybe 2 matchups. Like one to Dax, and then one to like the dude from DDT Wrestling. I'm forgetting his Hirokoshi Takashita from DDT Wrestling in Japan. Those are the only 2 people that he's beat on AEW. But when he came out to wrestle this like past week on Darby Allin, they're like, he's like 11-17 or some shit. I'm like, no, he does not have that many wins. If you don't stop counting the Dark Elevation squash matchups, motherfucker, like,
he won on Dark. I saw him win on Dark in Hartford, Connecticut.
Not Hartford, Acclaimed, bro. The same shit with the Acclaimed. They're like the most winning. I'm like, bro, I've seen y'all lose damn near every time I watched y'all until you just got popular like a month ago, bro. Like you guys were losing damn near. Y'all were the second coming of Private Party, dog. Like y'all were losing to everybody. Don't miss me with this. Cause you won 100 squash matchups on Dark, man. Fuck that resume, bro. I don't want to hear about those. Those don't count.
They count.
They don't count, bro.
It was a referee.
That's like CM Punk's WWE World Title run that they be talking about and shit. I'm like, he has 50 title defenses. Where on house shows? You're counting house shows? Like, don't do that shit.
It was a referee. It was official. It was fans. That counts. What do you mean? That wrestler busted their ass.
We never counted. If that's the case, then Antonio Inoki, rest in peace. Oh my God, how did we forget to not say rest in? No, I'm not. All right,
We did. We said it last time.
Respectfully, did we?
Yeah, we said it last time.
Did that happen? Did it? Okay.
Yes, the beginning.
That was all right. That was right there.
Yeah. Yep.
We did. All right. Well, if we're gonna count these people's house show records, then Antonio Inoki is the first ever Japanese WWE World Heavyweight Champion, bro. And he should be. I mean, and by that account, here's a fun fact. By that account, if we count that, Owen Hart was the WWE World Champion, WWF World Champion one time. He beat Bret Hart.
Grab a collar.
Match.
Everybody at home, grab your collar.
I just asked for consistency. I just asked for the consistency, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
turn your mic up. But it's professional wrestling. They choose whatever.
But man, yo, at the end of this matchup, I was so glad we didn't. Oh, it wasn't that matchup. It's the next matchup. Before that, there was a promo for the Gates of Agony, and I thought, yo, man, don't clown me, y'all. I thought that was Jacob Fatu.
Hey, yo.
I'm sorry, y'all.
My fault, Fatu. I apologize for him.
I'm about to relax.
Bro, the chat would have went crazy. The chat would have went crazy. Yo.
I was like, bruh. Don't. Let me move that one down, man. For a quick second. It was just for a split second. I was like, nah, that ain't him. That ain't him. I was like, dang, son, look. I was like, am I bugging? Is that him? Did he switch it up? Or did he get a new one? I was bugging.
You bugging. But Warlow versus the returning I'm a Machine, Brian Cage.
Y'all throw up the X for the Swolverine. My boy ain't worked in over a year on that TV show, bro. That's the nastiest stat. They shouldn't even set that stat.
It's still lost.
They shouldn't even set that stat. We sat him home for a year. He ain't even do nothing wrong. He ain't even beat up nobody backstage like everybody else. He ain't even trying to get fired like everybody else to go to WWE, bruh. He got in trouble for what his wife said. Can you book my guy? Can you throw him on TV sometimes? He been with you day one, and he ain't been on TV in
Yo,
months.
Dre, guess what Tony said?
Shush, please.
Woo. Yo, man. Oh my God. FTR, man. Yo, before we... All right, I'm going to say it. Brian Cage versus Warlow, man. This might be match of the night. This match was a banger, bro. I was fucking with this matchup heavy right here. This reminded me of the Attitude. The MJF Willer Yuta reminded me of the New Generation, the Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart. I'm mad I started with Shawn Michaels instead of Bret Hart. The Bret Hart.
Yo, wow. Michaels. Yo, you are petty, bro.
God.
You are petty.
Give me Bret Hart. I shouldn't even said. I should have said someone else.
Petty. Yo, anyway, what are you getting at, yo? You are petty.
This one. Oh, you know what? I can't say Attitude. I can't say Golden Era because they wasn't doing the moves that they was doing in the Golden Era that they were doing. This was a ruthless aggression era style wrestling where you got the hybrid, you got the muscle man who could do the little man stuff. You know what I'm saying? Wardlow, this was the perfect matchup to showcase Wardlow. He gave more than he showed he could take bumps, and he was able to show off his agility that he can't do against the smaller people that make him look strong in certain aspects that he could just toss around. But he couldn't do these little backflips and everything like that because when's he going to be in a situation where someone's going to strong Irish whoop him into the corner where he could do that? You know what I'm saying? Or be in a position to even take that attack. You know what I'm saying? God forbid you land on him. So you needed someone like a Brian Cage who could do that against, man. Brian Cage, though, hit him with that F5, bro, which was a nice little thing because that's something Wardlow normally does to other people. To see it happen to him, that was a nice little look. The 619 counter into the little fall body slam, that was nice. It would have been better if he would have did an F5, if he would have lifted him up and then put him on the shoulder. But it kind of showed he's a little bit limited what he could do with heavier set guys, you know?
Yeah.
But he did rebound with those multiple power bombs at the end, so he did get that.
Was cooking.
You know? They was fire, bro. That was the best. They need to definitely do more Brian Cage, man. And his whole faction, bro. That faction, yo, Tony. More of them. More of Brian Cage. More of the freaking Gates of Agony, bro. They made FTR look so small when FTR came out there to freaking intercept, you know, to come for the backup. It's like FTR ain't no small dudes by any mean. But dang, I didn't realize they were, you know, smaller dudes until Gates of Agony. You know what I'm saying? Like Gates of Agony make them dudes look small, especially the big Samoan dude. Like, oh boy, pushed him, and then when he was supposed to like go off the rope when everybody else did.
Drake, you talking about FTR?
Yeah, at the end of the matchup, they started jumping him. Yo, man, yo, Tony, we still work for you, Tony. When he said that, bro, I'm like, hey, you know what? When he said that and they ain't had a tag team matchup, Tony has made them go work. You want to do tag team everywhere but here. We're taking you off the video game, and then we're gonna have you do all your tag team wrestling in Mexico, AAA, New Japan Pro Wrestling. So they're sending them out of country if they want to work, basically. And then they were in what, New England when they said that, when they took on the Aussie Open. So I'm like, bro, they really are the tag team champions of the world. They're wrestling everywhere but America. And then when they get to America, they get thrown in
Superstar of the Year, man.
Booker of the Year. It's not Tony Khan, bro. Let me just say
no,
that.
not at all. But it was a 6-man tag women match.
They was jumping them. Right? And then FTR come out. First, Samoa Joe come out. And Samoa Joe, you can tell the respect with Samoa Joe. If Samoa Joe wasn't in that ring, I was thinking, forget me because I don't know the Samoan dude's name. I think that Samoan dude would have went like off script if it wasn't for Samoa Joe, bro. he went a little into business for himself when they all came out there. Samoa Joe came out first, got the advantage for a little bit, but then it was 4-on-2, and Wardlow was already taking out the picture, so it was really 4-on-1 at that moment. But then FTR come out, and they're the smallest. So, like, usually it's supposed to be the smallest guys getting beat up, and then the big guy comes to make the save. They got the smallest guys come out last to make the save. But when they come out, the big dude ain't really respecting them. Like, the other dudes get off the ring post, but the big dude like, I ain't going nowhere. Fuck these dudes. and he pushes Dax, or not Dax, he pushes Cash, who's the bigger of those two. You know what I'm saying? And old boy tried to push him like, yo, get off the thing. And he just stayed there like, I ain't getting off. And he pushed him like 2 more times, and he just stayed there like, yo, little ass ain't moving me. Like, I ain't moving for you. And then the other dude get back up on the rope like, all right, he ain't trying to listen to these dudes. And so he get back on the rope and then start jaw jacking. I'm like, yo, this dude, they got no respect for FTR right now, bro. But then Samoa Joe runs over there and swings out. I'm like, bro, oh, fuck it. Like, you're wilding right now. Like, get the fuck off the rope. No boy finally get off the rope. Oh, like, if Samoa Joe wasn't there, he was going to continue to punk them out, bro. I was like, yeah, these motherfuckers, man. Like, and the sad thing is, they look so, that team looks money, bro. I could see that would have been a team Vince McMahon would have wanted to pick up. The thing with them is, normally FTR got that advantage because they've been wrestling this new stage. You know, they're like they lack in size, but they make up with their showmanship and agility and whatnot. You know, their death-defying maneuvers and shit. You know, but this is the one team I look at them next to FTR and I'm like, bro, like I just can't see realistically beating this team. Like, how the fuck are you gonna y'all gonna have to cheat? They have to cheat to beat these. You know what I'm saying? Because that already happened. The Battle of the Belts.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk a little bit about that. It was a match from that I love.
I didn't see that. All right.
It was a match. Man, Pac versus Trent Beretta on Battle of the Belts was fire.
I always fucked with Trent ever since New Japan returned you guys, so I'm glad to see that. Glad to see that. But I didn't get to see the match. But you tell me that, I'm glad to hear that.
Yo, that was, I really like that. Might be,
bro,
it's up there. That's one of my favorite matches of the week, personally.
I'm gonna light up for the cameraman on this next matchup, man. The 6-man matchup. Britt Baker's squad.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a guest from, oh my God, he's about to be so disgusting. We're going to run through this match very quickly. From Get Your Bars Off Pod. Yes, we are. Yeah, let me introduce from Get Your Bars Off Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, none other than Ari Starks.
What's going on, people?
Your braids look like you about to be in Four Brothers too.
You already know what it is, man. Yo, the vets do give off that era. But I got the D'Angelo braids in right now. You already know what time it is. Big Neo Soul vibes over here. But you already know what it is, man. Ari Starks, Get Your Bars Off Podcast, Starks and Smarks. Episode 7 out right now. Go check that joint out on the Get Your Bars Off Podcast network and streaming platforms. What's going on with the people? Hey, y'all, look, I got one of them little mics that people be using in TikTok.
Oh, I got one of those.
I read it right.
Look at me. I'm a trendy nigga.
I got one of those. Yeah.
Look, I'm doing the freestyle now. But anyways, yo, what's going on with y'all, man? I'm listening. And yes, that 6-man tag match was probably the most time you would see all those women on TV at once.
Yeah, there's a double entendre in there somewhere. Yeah, but anyway.
I don't even know if it is. It's just, it took Saraya to get here to do that. And let's keep it tall. Even though this match is happening and the interim champion, which is technically the real champion because she's going to get the title anyways,
right,
they're not the focus. They are pretty much playing mini Survivor Series with this shit right now. You got Team Saraya, you got Team Britt. Heels versus faces. What do they get out of this? Other than, I ain't gonna lie, I'm happy that they all were able to be on TV and get showcased, and it was a good match. You know what I'm saying? Shout out my girl Willow Nightingale getting her first big TV
Willow,
win.
Man, Willow's kind of impressive, bro.
Like, bro, I've been watching her for the past year. She got it.
Because Dre didn't see it. We're gonna get back to this match, but it kind of do it. Jay versus Willow at Battle of the Brands. The match was alright, but I mean, right, Battle of the Belts. I said Battle of the Brands. But Battle of the Belts, yo, there was something in that match. Because I know sometimes I like to watch as a coach or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
There was something very impressive in that match. Like how Jade was about to botch, or maybe Willow, both of them it was a little off. Like she was going to do the sidewalk slam or whatever. No, it was supposed to do Willow. I guess she's going to grab Willow, and Willow was going to do the Karana. So instead of keep trying to do it or repetitive, it was Willow though. I was watching him. It was Willow that thought of, no, let me keep beating you up and reset. I was hyped over that because y'all know how I feel about the stop and go shit. And
Willow is somebody who's been around the block
and I'm a
for a
Jade
minute.
fan, but I gotta give that credit to Willow because you can see Jade was gonna go for it again. And Willow like, nah, that's gonna look botchy. And she just started beating him. I was like, yo, thank you. Like that's a vet move. That was I'm sorry, I had to give her credit. That was a vet.
And yeah, she's been around the block, you know what I'm saying, for this past couple years, just learning from different wrestlers, and whether it been men, women she's in the ring with, I believe she's learning, because I feel like the things that she's taken from there and applying them to the main stage, where she's got her fair share of L's, but with that is you always seen something with her where it's like it's something with that woman right there.
Early, Ari, so she can lose like that. Like she can take
no problem.
Long as I see her, like you saying, long as I see her growing and progressing and learning. Like I said, that little thing. I'm sorry, that made me a huge fan of her because
she can go. She can go in the ring.
There's 10-year vets that's not doing that still.
Yeah.
I have to give her credit, bro. I've seen that on. I'm gonna say WWE. I'm gonna keep it WWE. Like on WWE, why are you still going for that move? Try something else, then go back. She didn't waste no time. There wasn't no let me think about it. It was no. But I loved it. That made me a huge fan of her. Seriously.
Yeah, well, I'm saying this right here. Like she's definitely in the future. You're looking at one of AEW's, whether male or female division. That's going to be one of their biggest baby faces. And I'm talking about pure baby face. No, she's like, she ain't teetering no line. None of that. She's a baby face that can go in the ring, and she got a mean streak.
I could see she could do the hill too, because she got the
fuck that, bro. Like, no, see, that's the problem, man. We got it's too many dual. Like sometimes you need a baby face to build a heel. You need a pure heel to build a baby face,
bro. I'm not saying right away.
I'm just saying in the future though. Like look how long it took Bailey to turn heel. That was good, because when it happened,
that's what I mean. Like
when it happened,
it's another like Bailey. That's exactly.
I would say, Ariel, looking at what Dre is saying of the dual shit, I love that.
But it's everybody's trying to do it though. Like nobody knows how to be a pure baby face anymore.
But that's what I'm talking about. When I say
she has the capability,
like she can exactly
she has the capability of doing both. Like she can. All right.
I want to say
time is right. She'll be able to do that transition.
But I think she needs way more. She's still like.
I'm not saying right away. I'm just saying.
I don't personally see it. That's why I don't really see it.
I do see both, and that's a good sign for me. Like that's a very good sign for me. I'm not saying she needs to be both. I agree with you. She can
take away from the
play baby face, but as a fact that I can see you doing the hill and stuff, that's good for me. Like that let me know that you have the characteristics.
Especially for the stronger.
We talked about Pac. Pac is showing we was right.
But to be honest, I think the person that they're creating with that, the person that they're using to create that lane with right now is Nyla Rose, where they're making her the next, competitor for Jade, and they're showing that she's moving into a babyface role, where it's gonna be more of the jokey clowning type babyface and such, but she got the power, stick with her, all that shit. So I see that's gonna be the person they're gonna be using it, because they already seen that she could be the monster heel. But they see her on Twitter and social media that, she funny as fuck. Like, she's comical as fuck. Like, good, comedic timing, whatever you want to call it. Even when she had the joint with Jade, she was like, and your wig, what'd you say? And your wig ashy or some shit like that. I was like, yo, what the fuck, yo? How somebody wig ashy? Because her hair white? Like,
that's a good one. I like that one.
Like, but not like, they working on it.
This 6-man, all Roshi talk aside, this was a coming out party for not only Willow Nightingale, but to a certain extent Penelope Ford as well.
Yeah, thank you.
She's been doing her thing, and
ever since she came back,
took the words right out of my mouth. Like more for Willow, because She actually won for the first time, and this was like really my first time being introduced to her. Like really, like I've seen her 1 or 2 times, but she never really caught my eye like that. But I remember in our chat, I remember like maybe a week prior to seeing her, I can't recall if it was Frost. I think it was Frost who said something like, or it might be Ari. I can't forgive me. Y'all refresh my mind, but one of y'all mentioned her and was like, "Oh, she about to be like a big deal or something like that."
Oh yeah, that was more than likely me. You know, yeah, that was me. I fuck with her.
So someone mentioned, you mentioned her, and I was like, "Who's that?" And that was my first time really seeing her, and my impression was, aside from Chris Statlander and Jamie Hayter, like when I see those two wrestle, especially Jamie Hayter, even though Chris Statlander might be the biggest athletically, by just a small margin, like Jamie Hayter seems to be like the roughest, toughest. Like just
she's their she's like their like how people show like they like with Braun Strowman and Chad Gable over his week with that feat of strength that Chad was able to do. Like we could see that in the future with Jamie Hayter, even though we're seeing glimpses of it. But if she has, say she has that match with Nyla Rose, or say she has that match with Willow, or I can't think. They do need to start bringing some more like brutes over. But you know who got that on lock right now with the bigger, stronger women? Impact. They got that shit on lock right now. But yeah, they definitely need to start, you know, diversifying like the type of styles that they have in the women's division, because everybody can't be Britt Baker and everybody can't be Jade. So you need to find that middle. You need to find that middle.
Ari, turn your mic up.
It doesn't have any volume on here.
You're starting to see that, and I don't like that. I don't like that. Everybody is not Jade, or everybody's not Britt. And their mid card, it seems like it's like that.
Y'all just making me realize something right now, bro. When we mention the all-time greats and whatnot, like, dang, you gotta think maybe that promo might be the number one, because
what promo?
All right, like I'm saying, like in-ring skill, promo, like when you put it all together, like man, it ain't just your wrestling that I'm basing the criteria of, like
it's like the Surf JC
like,
shit. But it applies to like a lot of professions where you would look like, all right, if I'm a fucking, let's just look at salesman, for example, because entertainment and sales kind of like go hand in hand in a sense. If you're just sitting there saying like, yo, I just want to make sure that these people get this product, and I'm telling them about the product, and they know everything about the product they can know, all the specs they can know, but they still not buying the shit. But then you have this one dude who has a little shtick with it. He tells a story, he jokes with them, he laughs with them, and he finds ways to, like, you know what I'm saying, joke with the product and then like sell the product in a more intriguing, joking manner. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's more essential things that they're doing to sell to the customer to make them be like, okay, I'm gonna buy from you, other than the guy that's like, well, it can be run for this power, you have this much light. You know, you have a dude that'll be like, well, you've seen them motherfuckers, bro, with that gift to gab.
Hold up, but the person who's doing all the high flying and everything, that's the person with the pizza sign out, doing all the spinning and everything, right?
Right.
And then the other dude is
ain't that the progressive commercial? Yeah, the progressive commercial, bro.
The other dude just over here chopping it up with you, like, yo, bro, I can't spin like him. I can't spin this thing around like him, but boy, I could talk you into buying this.
I'm telling you, bro. You gotta have that gift to gab, man. It gets you in a lot of places.
Jade, I'm not gonna say green. Jade is still improving. She's like early in her stages.
Yes.
As to where there's people more seasoned and experienced than her, where you can easily make the argument, oh, this person's a better in ring than her. But when you look at it overall, you're gonna be like Jade over her. Like Frost just said, Britt Baker and Jade, and then there's everybody else. And
let's keep it real, they have the best
people
characters.
Probably name 5 people that are better women wrestlers than both of them.
Serena Deeb is the best women's wrestler on that roster, bar fucking none. But she has the personality. She has the personality of fucking tree bark.
Nah, we
it's like
that. She been
bro, come on, son. Dre, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. She was moving cool as a heel, kind of like, you know what I'm saying, talking down on people because like you can't wrestle, like you don't got the skills, whoop-de-whoop, all of that nature. And then when she went in the ring, she would like brutalize these motherfuckers. That was cool. But now, all of that, like now that the light has been taken off of her, it's like how when you playing basketball and like when you got to show your skill without the ball, that off ball play means just as much damn near as the on ball play for the team.
See, I disagree with that in the sense that I agree to a certain extent, but I disagree. Where I agree with you is that maybe I haven't seen enough out of her talking to where like, all right, to that extent, maybe she got the personality of tree bark, but in that ring, she is so heel. Everything she does
for sure.
is like,
for sure.
That's why, like in ring, she might lose, but she's like another Jay Lethal, where people are having their best matchup. She's giving Tony.
That's why her and Tony was one of my favorite matches last week.
Her best matchups, like she's another one of those people who like she's gonna give everybody their best matchup.
And
for sure.
I could agree with
she's their Natalia.
I think personally, like, I kind of think with Ari, she needs something like to carry on her character, like.
Yeah, bro, like Bryan Danielson is the best wrestler in the world,
but it's still like, and if you missed her mic skills, she needs to add something else to that in ring, because the in ring we all agree, like, she's amazing. 100%. So my thing is to help carry on in between, and you still a heel. And
like, look what Zack Sabre Jr. did for his career, bro.
Deeves need to do that. The first type Roman type of like talk junk during your matches.
A lot of people thought Zack Sabre Jr. had no personality, bro.
For her to talk junk, because literally she's backing it up. Like in her moves, all the moves she's doing, if Serena Deeb's talk junk, that carry on to now you want to see her interview, because she's talking so much smack and backing it up where it makes sense. Where now I need to see her cut a promo.
But you know what it is, the thing too, where it's like, I feel like where you have like, I'm thinking of like a young Bryan Danielson, right? We're talking like, let's say, give or take 04, 05, you know? Was he like the littest dude in ROH at that time? No, not really. You had Joe there. You had fucking like CM Punk was around. You had motherfucking Christopher Daniels. Like a lot of dudes that had a lot of personality and character, versus this dude who comes in these blank ass, like just bland burgundy trunks, you know what I'm saying, skee ball head, no like tattoos, nothing to stick out on him but the redness on his skin, you know, like. And but when he gets in that ring, you see it's a different energy. And once the people started to see that, they were like, yo, kick his fucking head. And Bryan Daniels said, kick, because that's what he would do. He wasn't promoting. That's just how he gave it up. You know what I'm saying? But once he noticed that the people understood, like, yo, they see me as a badass. All right, let me kind of fall into this character a little bit more. Let me be a little bit more aggressive in promos. Let me talk a little more shit, you know? And I think that's a thing where people got to start watching how the people are reacting to the shit that they're doing.
Bryan Danielson, though,
but that's if you're doing good shit, though.
He quickly got away from that, especially once he got to WWE, because
but it spun right back around once he was able to do it, though.
But I'm saying because that's the difference between AJ Styles and Bryan Danielson. Is that Bryan Danielson has shown he's been able to do that entertainment side, like on that level with from the Yes movement to the Team Hell No with the comedy to the Planetarian, you know what I'm saying? To when he went heel in AEW for those few weeks, like
AJ learned more about being a character in WWE than he's ever learned in Impact.
I'm saying he's better. He's better promo. He's like a better character. Like AJ's always been like damn near like the same character, even when he was in the factions.
Hey guys, I'm just here to wrestle phenomenally.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Like,
I was here to wrestle phenomenally, boys.
That's the big difference maker between the two, where I'd probably edge Bryan Danielson. I know it could be a little more entertaining. You know what I'm saying?
Like AJ's best character thing, and it wasn't really him. It was the help of Samoa Joe. That was my favorite, personally. Even in New Japan, all of that. That was like the and it was because of the what's his
when I
name?
seen Willow Nightingale,
yo, what was Joe saying? Oh, Wendy.
Wendy.
How's Wendy doing?
Oh, Wendy.
Joe was amazing.
Didn't he pull up at their house?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Joe.
Yo, super creep vibes. Super creep vibes. Like anybody remember that movie? What was it? Fucking Disturbia or some shit like that. It was like Shia LaBeouf and Sam Jackson.
Tony Khan, this storyline is free. Sammy Guevara and Samoa Joe. Sammy talking trash online, and then Samoa Joe pull up at the house like a
just yelling. And don't say her last name. Yo, he cannot. Oh my God, they do that. Samoa Joe, please say her last name wrong. Say her last name wrong.
It's bad
that
when you get married and she
the only Mello we acknowledge is Carmelo.
Why would we call you
the only Mello we acknowledge last name is Anthony.
Last love.
Well, that's cap. That's cap. That's cap. That's cap. I lied.
Yo,
I forgot about my other nigga. I forgot about my nigga Carmelo Money Hayes. Big money, Mello. Stop playing.
Willow Nightingale is like the first person that I've seen like up and I'm like, all right. Aside from Chris Statlander, that I seen that could like, yo, she could really bang with Jamie Hayter. You know what I'm saying? Like, she got that size where she could really hold her own. You know, and they could do that strong style that Jamie liked to do, man. But yo, man. I've been diplomatic long enough, man. Big shout out to the real MVP of this whole Dynamite 3rd anniversary episode, the cameraman. Hold up. I got a note that said the Brian Cage Wardlow was the best match of the night. And then right after that, I wrote that down in order. So I didn't see it. And you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. At that time, that was my best match. That match preceded it. And I just said favorite match. I was like, you know, it might not be the best match, but that's my favorite match, bro. There were so many cuts to that ass. And not just one ass, two ass. It was Penelope and it was Jamie. And
guys, relax. RELAX, relax. We don't want to put too much on wax before they go up against the line.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm so glad that every time you play that shit, it stops right before he says the Lions. Because don't nobody give a fuck about the Detroit Lions.
Thank you. I'm glad. I thought you.
I'll be so happy that shit cuts off right. But like, nobody give a fuck about them.
Penelope had all the cheek out on both of them.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Double cheeked up? On a Friday night SmackDown?
On Wednesday, 3rd anniversary.
Oh, Wednesday? Oh, just I ain't gonna lie. Hold on. How are we gonna keep? Y'all gonna keep?
Juice, please.
I ain't letting my brothers keep falling for that little rubber band trick they keep doing on y'all, man.
It reminded me of Maurice. Going out there disrespecting Miz, just showing it all out to everybody. I'm just like, yo, man.
Well, you talking about Britt or you talking about Jamie?
I'm talking about Penelope. She came out there.
Oh, Penelope? Nah, we ain't gonna do that. Penelope been like that, bro. She been.
I know, but she even.
Yeah. Juice, please.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm just saying. Penelope is a woman.
Juice, please.
Penelope knows she cold, bro.
She knows where the camera's at, though. She is so strategic. That's how she got over.
Guys, relax.
Let's be real. That's how Jamie Hayter really got over.
Guys, relax.
Not the wrestling.
Yo. Oh my gosh, yo.
That's Roshi Dre right there.
That, and this dude will pull up scissors. Oh,
that is.
Ladies and gentlemen, after that, it was National Scissor Day. Look, let me get this.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. It wasn't that. It wasn't that. It was another nasty, filthy, Spirit Squad backstage segment, private party presented by Roosh.
Oh, I thought you was about to say the other one. The other backstage segment.
This is what they had planned for Andrade that week. Andrade couldn't make it, unfortunately.
After slapping somebody.
It was the segment they do for Andrade for like several months. What are you doing?
I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to him.
You're looking for me, cabron.
I want to talk to him. But nah, son, that shit, it's been so weird. So weird. So awkward. And I know Dark Order just like, what the fuck is this, bro? At least we're getting some type of TV time, I guess.
Roosh is literally like Alexa Bliss when she turned into the Fiend's character. He is literally like transforming, shape-shifting into Andrade's character. Like as Andrade exits, Roosh just
wait, whoa. We're not even about to disrespect Roosh like that. You know they're from the same faction, right?
I know they are.
You know the faction.
I know that's how he dressed and everything, but I'm saying when they have him doing the exact private party spot, like you work for me. What do you do? I'm like, that's.
I mean, like, he's literally next in line in the crew. Like that's how it would happen.
So exactly, that's what I'm saying. So you're literally about to take into his character, like he.
No, you're not taking into his character. You're taking his spot.
You're taking his spot.
You're not taking his character. Roosh is Roosh. He wears a whole like bull. Like he's supposed to be like he's supposed to be like the Toro bull or something like that. That's not even.
You know,
like Andrade doesn't even relate to animal. He doesn't even do the animal shit.
Roosh got more time on AEW TV than Andrade. He only been there for like a month.
Yeah, but given Andrade, you can't buy Ring of Honor. You can't buy Ring of Honor and sit there and act like the nigga who was literally your last champion. Like before Josh Alexander had the title, you got to remember Roosh held that title for a minute. For a hot minute, that was their guy on Ring of Honor. So to transition and bring the shit over here, to just throw Roosh to the side like that is a slap in the face, and that's saying you pretty much did not watch the product.
Look how they doing Jay Lethal.
Let's keep it all the way tall. Jay Lethal was a tag team. He was a tag team wrestler. Before Jay Lethal went to AEW, he was a tag team wrestler. What are we really talking about? I love Jay Lethal, but he wasn't doing much.
Ring of Honor's got the most Ring of Honor World titles. What are you talking about?
Once again, before they signed him, he was just doing tag team work. What was the rave about? Nobody was talking about Jay Lethal. Jay Lethal was the replacement for Bandito in the last Ring of Honor match. He wasn't even supposed to be in it because he left and went to AEW. That just shows you how much that they cared about him. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a main event star, I'm sorry to say this, y'all, and I'm saying this as a black man too. Jay Lethal the main event push is not happening, bro. It's not happening, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. We need to give up the hope. The Jay Lethal push is not happening. It's not happening. Yes, everybody needs to relax and get their shit out of, like, the little panties out of a bunch and thinking Jay Lethal is supposed to next fucking coming of fucking like Geechee Gotti in AEW or some shit, and in my Stone Cold voice. I'm just saying, bro. Like, just look at what we're watching. Like, it's not happening. And like, the reason why the Andrade situation is so weird because it's like Andrade still hasn't had a fair shake in the States. You know what I'm saying? The best look he's had is in NXT, and that was just because he had one of the best managers, valets in the game right now. So all he had to do was work and do his thing.
Who's that sound like? Sammy Guevara. Sammy was never really captivating with promos. He's always been carried by Chris Jericho on promos.
It wasn't, bro. He didn't even do promos. The nigga was writing on fucking papers and cardboard between commercials.
And like I said,
the nigga wasn't even doing promos, so I don't even look at that nigga. Like,
funny. When
that shit was so corny.
When that was happening back then, Ari, I was like, wait, I thought that was Darby Allin's gimmick.
No, see, Darby would write like Darby would kind of do the same, like him and Dexter Loomis. They do that, like, cause remember him and Darby, Sammy and Darby had that feud early, and Darby was just copying what Sammy was doing. Like he was just doing his like dark version of it, I guess. Like,
I thought Darby did it first.
Nah, Darby, he was just copying, son. But now, like,
that's wow. Then if that's the case, then yeah, Sammy's horrible. That is a Darby Allin gimmick.
Like when I seen that shit, bro, I'm like, yo, this is some lazy fucking shit right here, bro, nigga. This is some real like hide behind the fucking curtain type shit, bro. Like,
and I feel like that type of thing only worked for wrestlers. Like if Orange Cassidy did it, that would have worked back then.
Like, bro, you just saying words on a paper don't give no feeling. It
worked for people that has that gimmick of, oh, I don't talk, I just.
It could have worked for two people. It could have worked for Jungle Boy if he never talked.
And the Fiend.
Really
no, that would have been
or Hook.
Fire in WWE.
I'm talking just AEW.
Oh,
because Hook never really talked, and for the longest, Jungle Boy didn't talk. For the longest, Jungle Boy didn't talk until Christian came around. So like he could have been another person who just.
Yeah, Jungle Boy was more of the like, hey kid type shit. Like they'll approach, hey kid, and pretty much give him an opportunity to showcase his skills. You know. Mm-hmm. But I will say though, like, and that's why we always got to give Christian that you know what I'm saying, that credit, because
I booked that story.
After you work with a nigga like that and you supposed to be learning all the shit, nigga, you better be applying the shit that you learned. No, nigga, like, the fuck was the purpose of the feud?
And that's why I ain't gonna lie. That's why I was able to book that match, TR, because I feel like that storyline was going to make sense, because I feel like Christian has a lot of say in it. And that's shout out to that.
I mean, as he should though. Like this is how it should be.
That's what I'm saying. Not
young niggas, shut up. OGs talk
exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Like Christian used that vet style that needs to be implemented in a lot of these other storylines. Like that's what they're missing. Like I'm
gonna keep it real with you, guys.
It has to be the same of the vintage wrestling storyline, but. Come on, like you got.
I'm gonna keep it all the way tall. I feel like Jungle Boy should get a little bit more credit, or a little bit more like opportunities or whatever, just off the fact that he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, being a student of the game, learning from his shit and applying it. These other young niggas ain't doing that shit.
They've been building Jungle Boy.
Because what I was saying, remember my booking, where I always said that Luchasaurus is going to turn, and Luchasaurus is going to be the start, because I think the story is going to get better personally. Like I know everybody's like, but I really believe in Christian, like.
Well, they got to, because Christian has, when he comes back, then they're gonna have to match.
And if my booking has still been the same, like Luchasaurus turn on him, it's gonna lead to Jungle Boy finally gets that
honestly, I don't know. Now that you say that, I honestly think like Christian's injury changed a lot of shit
for them,
for that feud and whatever. Because I honestly, me personally, I feel like it was supposed to end at All Out, because they were supposed to have that match at All Out. But given the situation with the injury, fuck it, I'm gonna be out for a while. You want to kind of keep it fresh until I come back. Let's throw the Luchasaurus, you know what I'm saying, shit back into the ring.
I think
which makes perfect sense.
All this for months.
I think he was gonna like just because you gotta finish up the Luchasaurus.
Jungle Boy is gonna beat Luchasaurus on the big.
Luchasaurus is a threshold
guardian. That's
guardian.
Gonna start Jungle Boy, like you saying, Ari, get some of the matches. I can see Jungle Boy being the next TNT champion because off of this.
I'm gonna be real. I think with the shit you're doing, the respect that you're showing, the dues that you're paying, whatever, like it needs to be reciprocated. Like if anything, that's one of the things I do respect of the old school. When you play your part and you know what I'm saying, you wait your turn, and you just put in the work, and like you will be noticed and your call will come. And I feel like that's really in any field, like,
because like, for example, I give you for more current Kofi. Like that was your perfect time to win that title.
Mm-hmm.
You would have never got Kofi Mania. Like you had millions
that's the same thing with Eddie Guerrero and a lot of
I'll give you a more recent and better example.
Like that, you know, like,
what about The Miz?
That's a great.
What about The Miz? He really was like, oh, okay, this how y'all moving? All right, bet. I'ma still respect y'all. I'ma still do what I'm told. And the guy, when he waited, he finally got the biggest prize in the fucking game.
Yeah,
whether people want to deny it or not, Miz is etched in that fucking history twice. Etched in that WWE history, not Universal.
And then he keeping his steam. All right, Miz, like, bro,
that's why I like what he's doing with Ciampa and Dexter Lumis, because like
he's a higher up of Dolph Ziggler. When I say that, it's not disrespect people. It's we can put you in a mid card and make you feel good at any time. We could put you in the main event picture. You don't have to win, but it's still going to give it that main event.
But that's how it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
Like no funny. That's why I hate where people like, you know, say vilify, well, clown, or, you know what I'm saying, like the mean people that's in the mid card. Like, we need to be building these niggas up.
That's why I'm praising. That's why my biggest thing why I'm praising Triple H is because
like
going the mid
with
card.
Seth Rollins, he was just saying,
old school fan, like Macho Man. Perfect example. Macho Man to me, well, it started before Macho Man, but that trend for me was that the IC title leads you to the heavyweight title. When Macho Man was IC champion, that was the main thing to watch.
Like what WWE is doing right now with their mid card and trying to rebuild it, and even in the past when they tried to rebuild it, they had the right players. They just didn't ever put full focus on it or had consistency. Like when Roman had the US title, they were trying to give that shit some legitimacy. You know what I'm saying?
Because they had moments. Like I remember when Seth Rollins had the title and he had his little run for a moment where he was killing it on those things.
He was cooking with
John
it.
Cena when he had the US title open.
Finn, KO, like Sammy of recent time, like
Dolph Ziggler and The Miz, when they had the Intercontinental Champion for a moment, there was a time where
that was like 2016,
right before Daniel Bryan came back.
That was like 2016.
Luke Harper and Dolph Ziggler match. That ladder match over the IC title made it feel so.
But I'm saying that to say that's like when I look at like what Warlord Brian Cage just did. Give us more of that. Like, what's the fucking stopping y'all for giving us more of that?
Turn your mic up,
man. Yeah, give Brian Cage, give him more booking, man. Let him get show more, man. Like my guy been out, and here's the crazy thing: with all the news that spreads on the dirt sheets and everything coming from people who work there, who are getting plates and are being featured, and still go back and report stuff to the dirt sheet, you would think the guy that had to be benched for over a year would be the main person bitter. Throwing shade. You ain't hearing no pieces from Brian Cage. You ain't hear no angry.
We got another episode of We Wrestling. Let's keep moving, ladies and gentlemen.
Private party. Oh my god.
No, that already happened. No. Scissor Day. The Acclaimed. I don't like the Scissor Me Daddy part. But anyway, I will say though,
Scissor Me Daddy ass.
I'm not. Even though I don't like stuff, I still give his credit where credit due.
Father,
the claim. I always been.
Why haven't you scissored me?
Because of Max Caster. I've been saying that when it comes to somebody rapping,
father,
he actually I like it. You delivering bars. I remember the Samoan Joe. I remember the Sonny Kiss 30. You was 30. That's when I became a fan. Honestly.
How would somebody in Scotland say "Scissor Me Daddy ass"?
No. Anyway. So the Acclaimed,
scissor me, Papa arse!
Crowd going crazy. Berserk.
Oh, Papa arse!
I mean, they got praised when the Acclaimed came out. And
hold up, man. Hold up. They got a great pop, but it was great for what we had to work with. Because that building that they were in was small as fuck. Now that I recall, like they were in a small.
Where was they at again?
Motherfucker, bro. They were in Washington D.C. It looked like a small ass little building. I've never seen this
Jeez,
picture.
yo, shout out to Acclaimed.
We're not gonna do all of that. If anything,
Just
more than
rock-
likely,
I rocked the building. That
what
was
I've
dope.
noticed
rock
is
the
that
building. It was a small
what I
ass
noticed
building.
is like with WWE, they would usually go to like the bigger sporting event, like arenas and such like that, where like the basketball players or football, like whatever like that, and like
you know what I'm saying?
AEW usually gets like the college arenas and such like that, which is like just a little less in scale, which is good though, because like it's still big, but it's not as big as the NBA or the professional teams, you know. But it's still a big arena. Like you go to fucking, like say if they was to have a fucking show at Chapel Hill when they go to North Carolina, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a big fucking, like that's a legendary spot to go to. You know what I'm saying? They ain't like how these indie motherfuckers want to go to some random ass fucking like old church that niggas had classics in. I ain't mad, yo, shout out to the classics, but niggas ain't trying to go into this old rundown ass church. Like I seen some video. It was with MLW. They had the nigga standing in some fucking
old heads, my nigga.
No, it's not that. I'm talking about the venues that like it's not the old heads, it's the new niggas that try to like try to fake pay homage to like old venues and shit that like nobody even like nigga buy the shit then. Like the shit is like literally probably like $1,000 buy. I'm watching MLW a couple months ago. These motherfuckers went to some building that was supposed to be like super legendary, but I'm looking at the shit. It looked like some motherfuckers just had a fucking winter ball in this shit. Like it looked like some fucking high school. It looked like the gymnasium from Greece.
You hear me already?
Huh?
I said building older than Max Caster's father's Super Bowl ring.
Yo, dead ass, yo. But that was a good story though too, because that was. I'm gonna keep it tall. This is my real quick synopsis on that whole joint. I thought it was like homage, but trying to get the same vibe as the State of the Union speech that DX did back in the day when it was just H and
That's
and
exactly what I got from
HBK.
it, too.
You know, from the
Exactly what I got from
podium,
it, everything about
all
it,
of that
DX.
shit.
We even got an original DX member up in there.
And you know, like, well, he's not an original DX member,
Well,
but
yeah.
but that's the thing that kind of makes me feel a little weird, because it's like, all right, Billy Gunn, you were like player 5, player 6, because you were even under China. Like, you weren't that nigga in the. Now, mind you, let's keep it honest. If Vince wanted to book any nigga out of that shit, he wasn't booking X-Pac for sure. He was gonna book that nigga Billy Gunn. Vince always loved Billy Gunn. He always loved Billy Gunn ever since he brought him in. He always wanted to utilize him for a solo run, but he just, once again, niggas have the fucking characters. Niggas have the fucking characteristics of fucking drying paint.
Way more it factor.
Like the best time he had to go solo was the one and only moment. But nigga, we know you for Mr. Ass. Fuck all that shit, nigga. Fuck out of here. You done fucked up already.
All right, well, we gotta keep going through. Speaking of,
but yeah, dog.
No. We gotta stay on.
Yeah, that's what I say. I just think that's why I wanted to get y'all. I just wanted to ask y'all that. Like, do y'all think that they are? Do you think that they are copying DX though?
Yo, my son compared winning the AEW tag team titles to a motherfucking Super Bowl ring, my nigga. I'm dead. I fucking wanted to.
So wait. So what is the big title for tag teams?
My nigga, I'm just saying.
Do they have isn't it called the World Tag Team Championship?
World fucking title, my nigga. I don't care if.
But they're in a tag team, Dre. They can't both hold the main title.
Bro, I don't give a fuck what pro wrestling title it is. I don't care if he held all the pro wrestling titles at the same fucking time, bro.
So FTR, on their verge of trying to get all the titles in the industry, is not a legendary feat.
In pro wrestling, but don't compare it to real sports. Fucking Super Bowl. Let's not do that.
How you gonna tell somebody how to feel after winning a fucking championship, Dre?
That shit was hilarious.
Bro, keep moving on.
Wait, hold on. How do you vilify somebody for putting in work to get a fucking championship? And they say
doing something that he fucking he
worked hard for? You know, you gotta practice for?
Bro.
That you gotta work, almost every day for?
It wasn't written for him to win this shit. He's a real champion, my nigga. Like, you can...
Bro, you know, don't do that, bro. Don't do that. because that's really taken away from like literally the work they put in as athletes
I
in
love
wrestling.
Pro wrestling, my nigga, but I've
Like
never heard
that's
any
fucked
wrestler
up.
compare that
Because
shit
now
to
if I see you cheer a nigga for winning the WWE Championship, I'm gonna be on your ass.
No, because it's in the confines of pro wrestling. You know what I'm saying? When I talk
going
pro
for
wrestling,
the
I'm comparing it to other
2-hour
pro
cutoff.
wrestling.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to skim through this. Definitely, I want to talk about the main event. Bryan Danielson and Daniel Garcia.
That was the cutoff of shit. Most niggas didn't know that shit was going
Jericho
on.
And Sammy
Adam and
Guevara.
Rush right before that.
Yeah, I know. It was Hangman Rush. It was Luchasaurus. Shot. It stayed on Scissor Me Daddy way too long. 2 hours.
Oh, one last thing about the claim. When Old-Boy gave the speech and was trying to unite, you know what I'm saying, the Republicans and the Democrats and all that stuff. It was funny how they were going for the scissor for the unite and it got cut off at that moment. Like, no, we never got to see the unite. It got cut off. Like,
what? Yo, no, the main event. No, hell no.
I'm just pissed we got to see Billy Gunn wrestle.
Hell no.
There'll be no unity.
Y'all not gonna.
Juice, please.
There'll be no unity. Swerve's house. It's shout out to Swerve
because you didn't see a scissor handshake. We not. Anyway, the main event.
Swerve, though.
Daniel Garcia and Bryan Danielson versus Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho in the main event. Even after the bullshit that occurred before the show started, somehow, some way, Sammy Guevara gets not only wins, but he gets the pin.
That's what happens when you're the boss's daughter. I mean, your employee.
Oh, grab the collar, hold it.
That was a table slapper right there, bro. Like, yo.
Oh, I'm cutting that one.
Yo, that was nasty, bro.
Well, we're not getting a Sammy Guevara interview. Nasty. There we go. All right.
Nobody want to talk to that scrub. If I want to talk to him, I can go fucking talk to fucking Will Ospreay.
Guys, relax.
How many more flippy niggas I can find? What the fuck?
I lost my train of thought off that line, bro. That shit was crazy.
I
remembered it.
Yo, how did y'all feel about this?
Real quick, I compared Sammy earlier to Shawn Michaels, and he wins on TV but loses in real life. But
don't ever compare that nigga to HBK, bro. Don't ever do no shit like that again in your life. You was a sick nigga, Dre.
Peace, my brother. Peace.
Don't ever compare that nigga to the GOAT HBK.
Yo, take that as a receipt. Take that as a receipt for all the Bret Hart slit I've had to tolerate.
Nigga, you about to have me cook up some more? What the fuck is you talking about now? Nigga, what are you talking about? I'm about to cook this nigga Bret all week now. It's only Saturday. I got a whole 7 days to cook Bret Hart. Look at you. Rest in peace, Pat Stay. Look at you go, Dre. You about to get Pat Stay fucked up. I mean, not Pat Stay. You about to get Bret Hart fucked up in here.
Hold up. I got another person, and you know it's funny you should mention Pat Stay because that's where I was going with it. I could compare him to a battle rap Hitman Holla. If losing gets me all this, I'm gonna lose all next year too. Like, yo,
I'm dead.
Up and then wins.
But let's keep it tall. I want to shout out the fans for keeping that same energy. Cause niggas knew what time it was, and niggas wasn't having it. They was not having it. As soon as that match started, fuck you, Sammy. Fuck you, Sammy.
I loved it.
And Sammy, no, you can't take this. Ain't heel heat. This ain't cause you just been kissing Tay Mello all over the ring. No, nigga, it's cause you a weird ass nigga. You was a pet. You are a teacher's pet, bro.
Yo, he called Andrade a jobber.
Like, what, my nigga? He came here as a favor, nigga. What favor was put in for you to get here? Nigga, I didn't even know you when you got signed. Who knew this nigga when he got signed? Nobody. He probably had a couple PWG matches. And, nigga, who didn't? You still ain't on the level of niggas that touched that stage. Still, it's 3 years in AEW. And that nigga is the most least appealing pillar in this motherfucking shit.
Facts. That is, yo.
Like, let's stop the fucking game. Everybody been said it. Britt Baker should have replaced Sammy Guevara as a pillar. Niggas been said that shit.
You can replace him with several people. You can replace
like
him
stop
with
playing, bro. Like Daniel Garcia is 2 fucking like big wins away from lapping this nigga Sammy Guevara. Sammy literally had his hand held since he been in this fucking AEW shit. First it was fucking Cody Rhodes, then it was Jericho, and now it's Tony Khan.
It's almost time for us to get to Extreme.
Yo, Sammy,
and this y'all lucky. I love y'all niggas because I ain't cooked this nigga like this on my pod.
Sammy Guevara,
he gotta
hire the APA and Kevin Nash and Sid Vicious, all 4 bodyguards. You need all the protection you can get.
MJF somewhere, yo, Dre, you go get this one. MJF somewhere right now looking like Daemon Targaryen at the fucking where was they at the fucking
when they was at the battlefield and he
no at the fucking after all the kids and shit. After they was fighting and they was in the joint, and Damon was just sitting there like, look at these motherfuckers wilding out. At least it ain't me this time. That's MJF. That's MJF, bro. MJF watching this shit with Sammy like, damn, I ain't getting the heat now. Shit, at least I should get heat for my actual work. Like niggas don't like me. Like, damn. At least I ain't the fucking talking the fucking shit no more. Niggas ain't worrying about what the fuck I'm doing. I'm gonna sit back and chill and watch this shit with some popcorn.
That was the AEW Dynamite anniversary show. Any more wrestling you want to talk about? Oh, Impact Bound for Glory happened. Josh Alexander, Eddie Edwards was a good match. Jordan Gracie.
Yeah, Jordan Grace and what was Shorty name? Is something Slamovich. I fucking love that name. It's like Maria is something Slamovich. But that is a wrestling Slamovich, my nigga, is a fire wrestling name to have, bro. Like, shout out to her for keeping like the gimmicky name type shit, bro. We know everybody use their real names and shit mainly. Like, I think it's Maria. Is it Maria Slamovich? It's something like that. But that shit is fire, man. Shout out to Jordan Grace, retain the title. That was really cool to see. That last shot she had when she was on the fucking top rope. Jesus Christ, yo. She looked like one of the women that be with fucking with Wonder Woman and the Amazonian joints and shit. She just not tall. That's it.
Jordan Grace.
Big shout out to Raven also as well being inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame, man. Bound for Glory.
Big facts, man. Like
he needs to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame.
He was getting hold in WWE.
They WCW and ECW as well. You gotta take into account everything. I mean, if you don't own the,
I think he needs to be inducted into the all around pro wrestling Hall of Fame, just for the whole hardcore aspect of like branding that shit outside of ECW. His gimmick itself, like being like he has such a great gimmick of the times where you kind of had that Kurt Cobain-esque vibe, but it wasn't trying to copy Kurt Cobain. Like Raven was Raven. You know what I'm saying? He would do the fucking he was Kurt Cobain and Edgar Allan Poe mixed perfectly together. You know what I'm saying? You take the style and look of the 90s grunge kid that was Kurt Cobain, but put together the dark poems and spoken word that he would do with the Raven, you know what I'm saying, Nevermore joints. You know what I'm saying? Quote the Raven, Nevermore. Like that shit alone is like, you know what I'm saying? Original, like quote the Raven, Nevermore. Like obviously we know Ravens are synonymous with Edgar Allan Poe. Like
so fucking
shit was fire, so fire. His ECW shit alone is just like legendary in itself. You know what I'm saying? The shit that he would create with it coming from his mind.
WCW run was pretty solid for a mid card. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously it was overran with the NWO angle for the top spot, but he kept the mid card.
Yeah, when he brought the Flock to WCW, bro, that was my introduction to Billy Kidman.
Tony Khan, you gotta stop just doing interviews if you only, I don't know, man. This dude named his 3 most important wrestlers.
He gotta stop doing shit like that.
That's what I'm saying. There's gonna be more turmoil.
Like, wait, that's why you let the shit on the TV play out itself. Like what Moxley's doing right now, moving the way he's moving to try to become the ace of AEW, whereas like what's understood don't gotta be explained. With WWE, we know Roman is the guy. Vince ain't had to say a damn word. we know Roman's the guy, you know?
How in good is Sammy Guevara's relationship with Tony Khan that he's had
I don't know, bro.
altercations, and there's been nothing.
Two.
He's been on TV continuously and everything, main event win.
And Dre, mind you, the niggas who name is in your fucking brand name, you suspended.
Facts. And here's the thing. I'm kind of worried he might just wash his hand clean with everybody involved in that. You know what I'm saying? But Sammy over here going on.
Bro, the nigga even fired his staff members that was breaking up the fight.
You know,
and he still didn't fucking suspend Sammy. Pardon me. Like, that's crazy. That is really
the fact that Tony named
Masha Slamovich. Thank you, Kim.
The fact that he named his top 3 and they weren't his top 3.
That was the G Kim, man.
And they the executive vice presidents. Disrespectful. The fact that ain't none of the 4 pillars.
We need the OG on OH We Wrestling.
You just named the 3 WWE OG veterans. You said Bryan Danielson, Chris Jericho, and Jon Moxley are the 3 most important wrestlers on your brand.
In a sense, even though you shouldn't say that, I can't say that he's not wrong. In a sense of what I just said, Jon Moxley, you're moving that to be your number 1 ace guy. Like, even like, mind you, we just found out that this dude has been not even on contract from a little bit of his, like, a good time of his time in AEW. He wasn't on contract. Like, when he won the title, he wasn't under contract. Like, that little bit of time he was there, in between that, he wasn't under contract. Like, I think even, no, I don't think the interim situation was it, or maybe it was. I'm not sure, because I know he just signed an extension. He just signed one, like, I think yesterday or today. I think it was like, it's 4 or 5 years. So he had to sign somewhere between this time, but they've been, for the 3 years that they've been there, I think he's only been signed for about 1. And now with him being signed, he's only good. I guess they're saying now he's exclusive to AEW and their partners, which is New Japan, wherever there. So now GCW is sitting there like, yo, we're just now hearing about this shit from the press conference, and this is our fucking champion. So
champion can't show up no more.
It's like they're putting all the chips in right now. They're putting all the chips in right now with Jon Moxley as their number 1 guy, as they should. Like, he's fucking money right now. Like, you might as well. And in the sense of like backstage locker room shit, like that vet that you need, you know what I'm saying, creativity and help with shit, you know what I'm saying? Chris Jericho has been that for Tony, you know? And then, you know, on the like training and morale side, and just like bringing that this vet skill of wrestling, that real professional wrestling shit, you know what I'm saying? Bryan Danielson comes into play, you know what I'm saying? Since he's been here, he has done nothing but help, show out, you know what I'm saying, for himself, and help more, you know? Like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying, who else has really done that as successfully as these 3 in their departments. Kenny, you gotta remember, when he came in, he went and tried to help with the women's division, and let's keep it tall, he failed. And I don't know who running that shit now. They had to bring in Madison Rain.
Here y'all, we do got an episode 57 right after this. Extreme Rules prediction, another episode. So Ari, you want to lay out your platforms where they can
you already know what it is, man. Get Your Bars Off podcast, Get Your Bars Off network, Starks and Smarks, The Narrative, all of that shit, man. Fuck with the brand, man. Follow me at Ari Starks, and follow the brand at Get Your Bars Off podcast and Get Your Bars Off network.
All right, Dre, you want to tell them where they can find
y'all can find me on Twitch at The Whole Effing Show, and y'all can find me on Anchor and YouTube at 5-Star Podsplash.
All right, spark up that dank. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. You know how it goes. Like, follow, share, subscribe, tell a friend to join the trend. The show has come to an end. Sit back and forever relax.
Swirling mass.
Yeah.